Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. Michael Zuber. It is Thursday, and you know what that means. That means the three amigos are back. How we doing, Matt? How we doing, Dion?
I'm doing great.
Howdy, guys. I'm doing great. Ready for round one.
Yes.
Glad we picked this topic because we learned our lesson a couple of weeks ago. We don't want to get Mike too upset, or we might not be able to release those videos.
Yeah, exactly. Mike got a little agitated.
NSF.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you know what? I think it's time to call out some channels. So Dion, you shared one. I saw Tom Nash, another channel I watched, do the same thing this morning. And he's basically like some of the largest YouTube channels out there who started as real estate channels have not only left real estate behind, done other things, but now they've entered, there's no other ways to call them, shit coins. And they're truly selling themselves out. And let's be clear, they'll probably make millions of dollars more. But when you trade your reputation for a couple of dollars, that probably feels good in the moment. But, it probably won't feel good long term. So Dion, you sent that over. I think it's a great topic. Why don't you share with us what you are thinking?
Well, I think thanks for starting with me because I think I'll be the nicest of the three of us. But I'll be very specific. I like to do my homework. Graham Stephan started out in real estate hacking, and then he grew a YouTube income that was greater than his rental portfolio. And I totally understand. I can track with that. And he had some sponsorships like Rentometer years ago and anything real estate related. But then he grew to doing, I can watch anything on his channel unless it says reacting to.
Yeah.
So I get that he's got a big follower base of people who want to watch those kind of things. And he's very smart at his business. And then when an investor starts out, I think this is advice we've all given, focus on one asset class to become wealthy. Once you are wealthy, then you diversify.
Agreed.
And he did that. So he started in real estate and then he diversified. So then he started having link down below for 2 free stocks from Webull and all the other things. Well, now sponsorships pay content creators quite a bit of money to promote a product. I think the content creator should actually believe in the product and not benefit from something like these coins, where if you have 1 million followers and you support the coin, but today you own it and you get a bunch of people to buy it, which increases the value of something that could drop to zero value tomorrow because Dogecoin, Shiba coin, these were made as jokes. The second one was named because Elon got a new dog and they just said, what's the dog's name? Okay, that's the new coin. This isn't a real asset class.
Well, let's just be really clear. There was a Netflix series I didn't watch, but it was really hot. You guys know which one I'm talking about? The one where it was created in Asia, I think.
Squid Game.
Squid Game. Thank you.
Okay.
Squid Game. Sorry. That was a really hard way, a really round way that Ben. Anyway, Squid Game had a currency in it. There was a cryptocurrency mania. It went from nothing to whatever. And the developers, they just ran away. It's $2.3 million. Just happened Saturday or Sunday. And these are shit coins.
Right. And investors see Bitcoin, which has a number of Bitcoin, and then blockchain and investment strategies in crypto that make sense. But then a coin comes up that has no limit. The people who create the coin are allowed to stay anonymous, which brings up all my red flags. And then it actually says in some of their advertisements that some major YouTube content creators are also owners of this coin, which if they're pitching it, profiting from it. And it makes me think people should maybe just Google Ponzi scheme.
Yeah. Well, I think it's even worse than that. I think these creators not only get paid to pump it, but they're also allowed to get in at cherry picked prices.
Yeah.
Right. Get in, I'll allow you to buy 1 million coins at, I'm just going to make this up, a penny.
Right.
That's 10 grand, I think, or maybe it's 100 grand, whatever. I think it's, what is it? 1 million to 100, 10 grand. And what we're going to do is you can sell it at any time, but you're going to talk about it, once a week for the next 3 months, and you're going to get your 3.2 million subs on it. And it'll go from a penny to 8 pennies. And, you're going to make $1 gazillion. So there was a time in my life in my 20s where I was motivated by money and maybe I would be okay with this. But, now that I'm several decades older and I see how hard people work for it, and I have seen people lose everything. That is to see somebody lose hope, to see somebody sold a bill of goods, a Ponzi scheme, something you know is not going to work. And it feels so good. Oh, I'm investing with Graham, or I'm investing with so-and-so, or I'm investing with so-and-so. We're in this together. And then they exit 3 days early. 2 days later, the price gets whacked. They're good. You're not. I don't know. It's bad karma, man. Bad karma. So Matt, what do you think?
I'm literally saving up. I'm going house to house, asking for 2 plies of toilet paper like Graham would, and putting together a full roll of toilet paper that I can then use later, because that's what Graham would do.
Oh,
But that's what Graham like made his thing on, was being like super ultra cheap
yeah.
and, you know, kind of storing all these things up. And now so it's already those people that are looking to become like razor's edge on saving and hacking and doing all these things. And so the stickiness that he's going to have pitching something like that is off the charts, because that's the advice that people are looking for from him. And really all it is it's opportunistic for people that are creating that following, right? So, and obviously Graham's not doing that. But I'm saying for other folks that would do something like that, it creates this belief, like you were saying, where, well, he's touting it and he's an expert. He's got a YouTube channel. I mean, let's face it. There's some guys that have YouTube channels that are complete total morons, like unabashed morons, and offer no value to society, but they still get views. I believe that that's where, you know, I don't understand who's watching it, but there are.
Yeah.
So I think that the key always has to be with any investment that you're looking at is, I like what Dion said about, there can't be anonymity there.
Yeah.
You have to understand what's there, what's going on. Like, you know, you look at, you know, for Mike, for you and I from the corporate world, right? When guys get options.
Yeah.
If I go to sell my options, I have to notify them like 6 months in advance that I'm going to sell them here. Right. And
yeah,
that means
I think I had 16, or it might have been 20 days out of a year that I could sell my stock.
Exactly.
Right. My last, yeah, you're very limited. And yeah, it's,
but we want to move an entire world to digital currency. That seems like a super idea. Let's just do that.
Yeah. When there's no barrier to entry, anybody can create them. They could be unlimited supply.
Agreed.
No use cases, no developers. I mean, and people will jump in because some social media person who has a following is willing to sell their soul.
Right. Right.
That's not going to end well.
There's that guy who bought like a bunch of Doge at, what was it, like 4 cents or something, and wrote it up to like 60 cents or something like that.
He was on Mike's channel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was he?
The guy, I think he did a video. Either you did a video with him, or
I think he did one about
him.
Okay.
Yeah, about him.
I broke down a video of him. Yeah.
But he lives with those guys in Vegas in Graham Stephan's neighborhood, and a couple of the other guys that live in all the same neighborhood. He lives in their neighborhood with them, but he got famous because of what he did with Doge.
Yeah.
The crazy thing is he said, I'm flat out not selling. Enjoy being broke.
Yeah.
Like, he won't be able to afford his house payment.
Yeah. But I want to go back to the fact that, again, we've talked about Graham. There's plenty of others. So again, this is what I remember of Graham. And I've actually done some videos about, hey, I want to go back and celebrate the younger Graham, like where he is now.
Yes.
Like Graham and Meet Kevin, all these. I mean, Meet Kevin's talking about throwing $2 million at these or that stocks. While that is extremely impressive for a 29-year-old, it's no longer in the realm for the average person. That's why I never talk about what I have. We talk about single family homes or duplexes, because I want everybody to believe they can do this stuff. I don't want to talk about buying, you know, I saw him send out a tweet the other day. He's like, he's got 4,000 Tesla shares or something. I'm like, great. That's $4 million. 29. Awesome. But I mean, the average person watching you is either, you know, you're not helping them. To me, feels like bragging, which is
the one thing to defend both Meet Kevin and Graham is, once in a while, a video will come out on the basics of finance, and they have the core. They were there. They reached this level of success. And so when that video comes out, I watch it. But if it says stimulus I'm not watching.
I've unsubscribed from both their channels. I just can't stand it anymore. No, I've unsubscribed. I mean, it's, I don't know, 80%. It's just, it doesn't leave me feeling good, right? Because I see the average person, and both of them are high on, like, when I look at my stats, both of them are top 3 or 4. So I know people on my channel are watching them, but it's just, they don't feel real anymore. They are so successful,
Yeah.
so successful that they have, it's like Warren Buffett, like for me, right? Yeah, I get it. I like reading Warren Buffett stuff, but I'm never going to be Warren Buffett.
Mhm.
They're millions of followers. And in Graham's case, I think it's 3 million followers. like-
3.
It's like, so, I mean, clearly good at what he does, all these amazing things, but man, dude, Graham, you took a right turn, man. I hope you, I think it's Tom Nash in his little rant this morning. He's like, I hope you correct this soon, because it could ruin his reputation.
I was watching
One of the most
Tom-
challenging things with teaching anybody, whether it's how to drive a truck, how to tie their shoes, how to learn finances, is it's really hard to remember what it's like to not know something.
Yeah.
And the further we progress in success without going back to, like Grant Cardone.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's not, I don't know if I don't watch, so I don't know if he's talking about these coins at all. So I'm not referencing him for that. But
He's not, just in fairness.
he
he's
says,
not.
don't buy anything unless it has 16 doors or more. That's where
Yeah.
you start. And I'm like, okay, yeah, but how did you start? How did
Yeah.
you get to the 16 doors make sense? We have to remember that I had to move into an apartment to rent out the house to get my debt to income ratio to where I could even buy a place to turn into an investment. And it goes along with one rental at a time. And like you said, maybe you don't talk about the what you have, because then people go, oh yeah, of course it's easy when you have that much, but you got there, and you focus on that, because once you get there, people could do whatever they want. They can make a YouTube channel, help other people do the same thing. They could go off and enjoy life and not do that.
Mhm. Yeah.
Biggest challenge I had with Grant, and I love Grant. I think he's an absolute force. But the biggest challenge that I had with Grant is that he doesn't talk enough about how he started, because he
Yeah.
didn't start with 16, number one.
Mhm.
Number two, and most importantly, is 1 out of 10,000 investors is going to be able to do what he does.
Mhm.
1 in 10,000. Because most organizations are not willing to roll the dice on bets like what he wants. So 1 in 10,000 investors. And so if you're looking to be the next Grant Cardone, you have a chance. But I guarantee your odds are 10,000 to 1. Even if you take all $50,000 worth of his courses, it's still going to be 10,000 to 1.
Mhm.
And that's what I love about what the three of us do, is that we are still real world.
Every day.
2 out of 3 of us still go to a job every single day, and it's not Saturday.
Every day, Saturday, baby. Come join me. It's a lot of fun.
2 out of 3 of us don't take naps
Yeah, I took a nap.
or paid naps. And so I think that that's really the key, is that we're still doing this, and we're doing this with other people that aren't, they're not 1,000 steps behind us. They're 10 steps behind us. They're 5 steps behind us. And all we're doing is saying, hey, this is how I blazed this trail. This is how I made this path.
Mhm.
Grab onto this, grab onto what Dion's done, grab onto what Mike's done. We'll give you 3 different perspectives based on our own experiences. But daily, people are executing on these ideas and executing on the same things that we have,
Mhm.
that's changing those people's lives. I'd like to understand, I want, at the next Grant Cardone conference, I want a listing of all the people that now have 1,000 units because they started following Grant Cardone. Because I bet that there might be a handful.
Yeah, there's going to be less. And if you put just our channel up against, how many people now have their first or next rental, it's a great list.
That's a huge list.
It's growing. It's growing
It's
all the time.
huge.
So
It's great.
yeah,
Because Mike, we know that
so maybe
each of
somebody-
those deals has changed somebody's life.
Mhm.
Like it's
Maybe
changed
somebody
a
can do
lot.
us a favor. In the comments below, let us know if when you queued up for this video or during this video, were you pulled out to watch a commercial on crypto coins?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because that's part of the problem too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So one thing I can guarantee you'll never see on my channel is Mike Zuber pumping a coin. I've been very clear. I took 1% of my net worth now a year ago. It's hard to believe it's been a year, and put it into 3 coins. It's an insurance policy. I am perfectly comfortable with it going to 0. It's 1% of my net worth. It was liquid. I'm good. I haven't added. I haven't sold. I barely ever look. I'm not going to talk about some jerk off coin. I'm a real estate guy, and I'm not changing. So Matt, let's wrap this up. What do you want to leave with, Matt?
Yeah, I mean, if I do any coin, it will be a flannel based coin. If we do a coin. Yeah, no coins for me. Listen, we're real estate guys. That's how we made our money. I think that's the biggest mistake, Mike. You know, we talk about it all the time off camera. I want to learn from people and I want to talk to people and listen to people that are doing what I'm trying to do. That's it. And you know what? When was the last property that you bought or refinanced?
Yeah.
It was in the last, what, hours ago?
Yeah, I
Right.
just did a refi. I just finished it. I had to move
Yeah.
our call from 12:30 to 1. I'm signing a
Yeah.
refi.
The last deal that I did was 5 days ago. Dion, you did that deal with that student you were working with. What was that like?
She's closing on the 5th, and I was talking to Matt, the mortgage guy, this morning because of some peer pressure on cash out refinancing.
You have to, man. Jesus. Yeah. Good. Awesome. Yeah. Here, go ahead.
Right.
Yeah.
There you go. All right. Editing right there.
There you go. That's awesome. Yeah. So, and then Dion, how about you? How do you want to wrap this up?
You are going to be alive in 5 years. Buy freaking assets that will be here in 5 years.
Yeah, true story. True
And with
story.
that, we will leave the shit coins behind us. Thanks, guys.